Oh, hey, look, it's our Today All Day family.
Back.
You guys are so nice. We're happy that you're with us on a Friday. I'm here with my pal, Savannah Guthrie. Hey.
Oh, hey, Hoda.
You're watching our digital show Today in 30.
So are they. It's a half hour of everything you need to know to catch up from our show earlier this morning. We're going to start with much more on that major development in the fight against COVID.
Yeah, it's a surprise move. Overruling her own agency, the CDC director cleared the way for millions of Americans to get Pfizer's booster shot starting today. We'll have everything that you need to know.
Plus, we're going to take a look at Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's trip here to New York City, why it's being heavily scrutinized on the other side of the pond.
And we are ending the week with the new king of Las Vegas. Barry Manilow is here. He's got a big surprise for one of his biggest fans, and you're not going to want to miss it. So let's get started.
You know what? I just love that song, Mandy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mandy, well, you came and you gave without taking, but I sent you away. Okay.
It's time for
Today in 30.
We want to get right to the breaking news overnight on Pfizer's booster shot. The director of the CDC officially signing off on that extra dose for millions of Americans.
But in a highly unusual move, she went further than the recommendations from the CDC's own panel of advisors, siding with the FDA and including people at high risk of COVID because of their jobs. NBC national correspondent Miguel Almaguer has the latest on this twist. Miguel, good morning.
Savannah, good morning. Dr. Rochelle Walensky's recommendation, for the most part, falls in line with the CDC's safety committee. But as you mentioned, she did add one the group rejected, allowing frontline healthcare workers and other high-risk workers like teachers to also qualify for boosters. And now those extra shots could start going into arms right away.
Overnight, healthcare workers becoming the latest Americans to qualify for a booster. In a highly unusual decision, CDC Director Rochelle Walensky overruling one recommendation rejected by a panel of advisors. Walensky saying those frontline workers and others at high risk for catching COVID because of their jobs can now also receive their third dose of Pfizer's vaccine. They join those 65 and over, residents of long-term care facilities, people 50 to 64 years old with underlying conditions, and some Americans 18 to 49 with chronic health problems who can get a booster 6 months after their second dose. Of the roughly 100 million Americans who are fully vaccinated with Pfizer, well over 11 million can now immediately get a booster.
The decision today is critical because it's answering a question all Americans are asking: who should get boosters and when?
After weeks of booster confusion and the initial news they wouldn't qualify, essential workers like Regina Hartley, an elementary school librarian, can now get a shot of added protection.
Sometimes I feel like we can't be our best if we're worrying about, what we might catch from a student in our school or from another teacher.
With over 180 million Americans fully inoculated, there's still no clear booster timeline for adults under 65 vaccinated with Pfizer, or the 45% of Americans inoculated with Moderna or Johnson & Johnson. The staggered rollout of boosters will happen at pharmacies, clinics, and doctors' offices. Some healthcare providers say they're already being pressured to offer doses to those who don't qualify.
Many people are asking why they don't have that opportunity already.
This morning, the battle over boosters still underway, as many seek an extra shot of protection and others face a dose of frustration.
So it's so interesting, Miguel, to see how this has developed. Now the CDC director and the FDA are in agreement about who's eligible for those boosters. But, the Biden administration had hoped to actually authorize them for everybody. What was the argument against doing that?
Well, experts think the data simply isn't there, Savannah. Despite the Delta variant, they say the vast majority of Americans are still protected by their original vaccinations. Protection from hospitalization simply does not seem to appear to wane dramatically for the most part. Many believe the better alternative is simply getting those who are unvaccinated vaccinated. Savannah?
That work continues, Miguel. Thank you very much.
Craig joins the table, including a new development in the Gabby Petito case.
Hey, Hoda, Savannah, good morning. Good morning to you as well. The FBI has now issued an arrest warrant for Gabby's fiancé, Brian Laundrie, announcing it is connected to his actions after the 22-year-old's death. This, as the manhunt for him enters its 7th day, with police now treating the Laundrie family home as an active crime scene. NBC's Katie Beck continues to follow the story for us. She's in Florida once again. Katie, good morning.
Good morning, Craig. The FBI stepping up their search efforts to find Brian Laundrie, thanking the public for valuable tips, encouraging them to send more, saying no piece of information is too small to help their investigation.
This morning, the nationwide search for Brian Laundrie picking up steam. Authorities now armed with a federal warrant for his arrest. The FBI says Laundrie is wanted for use of unauthorized access devices. According to court documents, Laundrie used an unauthorized debit card and PIN number in late August and knowingly and with intent to defraud withdrew $1,000 or more from a Wyoming ATM. The Laundrie family's attorney saying in a statement, "It is my understanding that the arrest warrant for Brian Laundrie is related to activities occurring after the death of Gabby Petito and not related to her actual demise." Laundrie's parents were seen Thursday driving away from their home. Their son and Gabby Petito left on a cross-country trip from her parents' home in Long Island, New York on July 2nd. The city of Moab, Utah announced it's launching an independent investigation into the way officers handled this August 12th incident, captured on body cam between Gabby and Brian.
We'd have been fighting all morning and he would have let me in the car before.
According to an affidavit, the responding officer described it as a mental health crisis, not a domestic assault. The city saying it's unaware of any breach of policy at this time. Laundrie returned home to Florida without Petito September 1st. On Sunday, her body was discovered in a remote area of Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest. The coroner calling it a homicide, but not revealing a cause of death. Laundrie's parents told police their son went for a hike last week at the 25,000-acre Carlton Reserve near their Florida home. Federal, state, and local officials have searched for days using drones, K-9 units, ATVs, and underwater dive teams.
This is a tremendous, mass of land. The more people, the more effective we are.
While the search continues for Laundrie, supporters gather at vigils and growing memorials for Gabby.
It's just heartbreaking. I feel so bad for the family.
In the meantime, Katie, there's another apparent piece of information. One of Gabby Petito's friends said that Laundrie is equipped to go off-grid, that he'd actually done this before and been gone for I don't remember what period of time. But the area where they're searching is obviously challenging. What are officials saying about that?
Yeah, Hoda, that report said it was 3 months he spent on the Appalachian Trail, a similar survival-style trek. But survival experts say even someone who is prepared would need to be well-equipped and well-prepared to endure these elements. The heat, the humidity, obviously having a way to boil water and have shelter out here is not the easiest. In contention also with gators and snakes. Keep in mind the swampland, 75% of it is underwater. So even for someone who is a trained survivalist, this would be a real struggle.
Yeah, if in fact he is still in Florida, you know, he could actually be somewhere else. Who really knows? All right, Katie, thank you.
Well, we are back as Carson joins us with some very high-profile tourists paying a visit here to New York City.
That's right, guys. Good morning. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are in town here in New York, gearing up for a big event this weekend in Central Park. And NBC's Stephanie Gosk is here with more on that. Good morning, Steph.
Hey, Steph. Guys, good morning. Harry and Meghan are here to call for global COVID vaccine equity. It's their first public trip together since stepping away from their royal duties and moving to the U.S. in an effort to get some privacy. But some, especially in the British tabloids, who can be brutal, are skewering them and the trip, saying they're acting more royal than ever. Harry and Meghan, all smiles in New York City. Their first stop Thursday to One World Trade Center and the 9/11 Memorial, coming less than 2 weeks after the country marked the 20th anniversary of the attacks. Their appearance similar to a trip Harry's grandmother, the Queen, made herself in 2010. But in the UK, the British tabloids are tough critics, accusing them of acting like royalty, even though they are no longer working royals. Both Harry and Meghan have been to New York City before, but this marks their first official trip here together.
This time, Harry spotted carrying a folder with Archie's Papa emblazoned on it, a nod to his son, though children Archie and Lilibet are not with them on this trip.
The Princess of Wales flew in on the Concorde.
In 1989, Princess Diana also came to New York, mingling with the rich and famous and visiting the poor.
On a closed visit to the AIDS ward, the princess met and touched many of the children.
That trip has become a key storyline in the hit Netflix show, The Crown.
They desperately need foster parents, but people are too afraid to take them.
Why?
Because of the stigma.
On Saturday, Harry and Meghan will be front and center at Global Citizen Live in Central Park, urging vaccine equity around the world in an effort to help end the pandemic for everyone.
Meghan and Harry, at the end of the day, understand that they are public figures. They understand that anything they do is going to get attention. So they are now learning at this phase, it seems, how to use that public attention and direct it in very specific ways that they see fit and that things that they're very passionate about and causes that they want to support.
A little more, Meghan and Harry. So Global Citizens Live is calling on the G7 nations to donate 1 billion vaccines to the world and to these countries that don't have enough vaccines. It's going to be quite a star-studded event. You've got J-Lo, Coldplay, Lizzo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lizzo. Right here in Central Park.
We always have fun here at the third hour, and every once in a while we like to hang out outside of our studio.
So we recently decided to buddy up and try our hand at pottery. We had a blast and even had a ghost sighting. You know why I'm looking forward to this?
Why?
This buddy up? Because it is non-competition. It's just us enjoying ourselves, doing something crafty.
Is that what you say when you know you're going to lose? I think that's what happens. Let's do this.
You passed right by Craig. Craig, we're up here. Once inside Greenwich House Pottery, we met our instructor, Hawk and Lindsay, but things quickly spun out of control.
The truth is, pottery is really hard, and don't think about what you're going to make today. Just think about how you're doing it and try and enjoy the process.
Oh, cool. Okay? I love this so much.
Yes, it's not about final products, although final products are nice. Well, that's something that I made, but I think in 20 years, you could probably really pull that off.
That's probably ambitious.
Wait, it looks like my belly.
Holy smokes.
That is amazing.
That actually is the same size.
This is the same.
That could be a baby.
This is the same size.
That's a baby.
You're having a pottery baby.
Look at the baby. Ain't no baby dryer.
We finally took the wheel, the pottery wheel that is, and got our hands dirty.
Then, once it goes up a little bit, you can take your hands, you can take this part of your thumbs like this and push down.
Oh.
Okay.
Craig, we don't need to make those sounds.
And look at you, Al. Holy smokes.
Wait, are we jumping right into
I mean, wow. I don't know why I'm teaching the class.
Yeah.
Did you just make a bowl?
That's really, really good.
I'm so glad you're on my team. Wait, you said you'd never done this before.
I've never done this before. While I had beginner's luck, the others, not so much.
Once that happens.
What the heck's going on there?
I was trying to watch you.
Okay.
So you know what?
We're just going to start with a new ball.
You know what it is? You can't overdo it.
Let's show you how to get this off. So we're going to use this thing. This is called a J tool.
Come on, Craig, lean in. Get some water on that thing. There goes your bowl. Al, you're supposed to reach the pottery, Al. Reach.
But I had a nice bowl going.
You did.
I should have seen that coming.
I've never seen Craig so uncomfortable in my life.
If I could blush, I would. Make no mistake about it.
While Craig never fully recovered. You know what this is good for? Dell's self-esteem. The rest of us were able to make actually passable pieces.
Oh, I got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good. Now put it down in front of you.
Yay, that's a pretty ring.
And now you're ready to start all over again.
That's beautiful. I did it.
Since our pots aren't quite ready to be decorated, Hawken gives us some of his pieces to work on.
My grandmother is constantly telling me to bloom where I'm planted. That is what
You've done a nice job blooming where you've been planted.
But, of course, not without some hitches.
You know, if all of a sudden I just did this, and you have a cup that just looks like that, you're like, wow, that's so beautiful.
I thought it was solid.
No, it's not solid.
Oh, well, you know what? That's why. So this is unfired. Once we fire them, they'll be really strong.
I was a little too rough with it.
But you're in luck because I have another one for you.
Oh, thank you.
I got you.
I'll be a little bit more gentle this time.
Little Today logo.
Love that.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's like,
That'll be worth like $1 billion.
look at mine. I drew lines.
Beautiful.
That is nice.
We've all put our finishing touches on these pots, and now they're ready to be fired.
Hawkins, now, what happens to these now?
So now they're going to dry overnight. Then they're going to go in the kiln for about 36 hours. It's going to get fired up to 2,350 degrees. Then it cools for another 24 hours. And then voila,
And then
you got a finished piece of pottery. Yeah.
Really nice.
These are really...
So we've got our fired pieces here.
Let's start with yours.
Thanks to Hawken. I only did a little weather theme here.
It's really nice.
And then I made,
He made that we got to carve into.
I made these little squares for the family, so you got little gifts there.
They're so nice. He gave us these little tools. So we had little toys where you could write words.
But you like really got artsy.
I know. I found it very therapeutic. What about you guys? I feel like it was fun. What is that?
Looks like Kermit the Frog had an accident.
That looks like mold.
This is actually a pin holder. You put your pin in there.
You just made that up. I'm surprised how well it looks after the fact.
That's really you could
cool.
use that.
Yes. Very nice. Don't look in the inside.
I would buy that.
Spikes in.
No,
you could go to Marshall's and find that.
Your mug looks fantastic.
Let's see your mug.
I thought it was a little boring because you guys were doing so many fun things. But
Oh, wow. What are you going to use this for?
Cool.
I'm not sure.
You know what I would say is where no matter
what
where.
What are you going to use this for?
This is prophetic for life.
That's for target practice.
If you mess up, you just keep going.
Pull!
You go.
All right, go to the third hour today.
pottery-
Instagram to see some behind-the-scenes photos.
Put my pin holder down.
Pottery making.
Entertainment icon Barry Manilow has been dazzling audiences for more than 5 decades with those timeless songs like I Write the Songs, Mandy, and of course, Looks Like We Made It. Well, he has made it over and over again, selling more than 85 million albums, making him, by the way, one of the best-selling artists in the entire world.
Yeah. And everybody's happy because Barry's residency at Westgate, Las Vegas, well, it was put on pause, but guess what? After 18 months, he is back with a bang, kicking off his comeback with a name unveiling ceremony, a flash mob.
Of course.
And the announcement of more than 100 new dates.
Look at this flash mob.
Look how much fun that
because
looks.
Barry is with us from Vegas. Barry, you know how to make an entrance. That flash mob kicked it off. How does it feel being back on stage again?
It was great. It's odd. We're talking about it. It feels like this 18 months never happened. We're just back as if that 18 months didn't even exist. But it's great.
Barry, so many fans are so happy to see you performing again. You know you brought so much comfort to so many people. But did you know that when Hoda was a little girl, she had a poster hanging over her bed of you?
Yeah, Barry, you were my poster in my room.
Really?
Yeah, you were most. I had you and Punch from, Punch and John.
Yes.
Punch. But Barry, we still sing all of your songs. My girls now sing all of your songs. And does it feel differently this time around? I know it's been, when you haven't performed for a while, it feels like a drought. You're so at home on the stage.
Yeah, it really, I expected to be more uncomfortable than I was, but it all came back. The audience is great. They were so sold out you couldn't get in, and they were, even with the masks on. And I thank them for doing it because it's a pain in the neck to do it, but they're doing it, and there's still that audience that is excited. And so, therefore, I was excited.
Well, you added 105 new dates to your residency. That gives you the record for the most shows at the International Theater. You beat out the previous records. I mean, that was
Elvis.
High, no big deal. What does that mean to you?
It was great. My manager, husband Gary, booked us for 105 because Elvis was 104. So we're 105 shows now. We broke the record.
And you got a new album coming out, too, next year. You got a musical. Give us a little bit about that.
We got a new album coming out next year. It's an original album. I haven't done that in a long time. And then we've got our beloved Harmony opening in New York. Previews are on March 23rd, and we open on April 13th. And this time we are in New York down at the National Yiddish Theater, and hopefully we'll go further than that. So everybody everybody come down to the National. It's a beautiful, beautiful theater down there downtown starting on March 23rd. And we'll cross our fingers this time.
Awesome. Well, Barry, we have a fan, a super fan named Shelly, who wants to come in and ask you a question. Hey, Shelly.
Oh, my God, look at Shelly.
Hello, Barry. Oh, my gosh, it's so wonderful to see you. I'm sad that COVID's going on, so we can't be in person, but you are amazing. And this is such an honor to meet you and see you and talk with you.
Wait, okay, first of all, is it true that your love for Barry started when you were 9?
Yes, I was 9 years old. I was watching the American Music Awards. You were performing. You were at this beautiful white baby grand piano. I was smitten. I made my mom the next day drive me to Ben Franklin. I bought your album. I have been a fan ever since. I'm 53 now, so if that tells you anything.
And you've got a question for Barry?
I do have a question for Barry. For some reason in my head, I want to say, will you go to prom with me? But I know that ship has sailed. So my question for you is, you have been fortunate to meet so many amazing people in your decades-long career. And I'm wondering if there's one person in particular who really stood out and left a lasting positive impression on you.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Nice.
Such a huge star. When I met her, she was not at all the elegant woman. She was a real person. And she was so committed to this AIDS thing that had happened back in the 80s. And she never let up. She never let up trying to find a cure and helping everybody who had it. This woman was not just a movie star. She was a real great person.
Well, that is beautiful. So, Shelley, I know that you thought you were just here to ask a question, but actually we do have a little surprise for you, too.
We sure do. Shelley, this is for you, because I know you want to see Barry. Well, thanks to Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino, you're getting 2 tickets to the Barry Manilow Show in Las Vegas. A 3-day, 2-night stay at Westgate Las Vegas. Dinner at the Edge Steakhouse, plus a $500 travel credit. How does that sound?
Shut up! It sounds awesome! I have to tell you, I am known for 2 things. Margaritas and Manilow. So
Yes! You sound like our type of girl.
All right. Before that show, I'm giddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Shelley.
All right, by the way, there are tickets to the Manilow Show. There aren't many, so pick them up. The hits come home. They're on sale right now.
I can't smile without you. I can't laugh and I can't sing. Finding it hard to do anything.
Wow, that's pretty good. And you do not want to miss Monday. We've got another great week on today. The San Francisco 49ers kick off mentorship season in our once-in-a-lifetime series.
And some of the team is actually going to join us as they help their communities. So make sure you tune in. We'll see you guys Monday. Have a great weekend.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.